Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Dalton at Dalton95 coming with another Transformers Legacy video, and that is going to be the kind of weaker figure that I've been hearing about out of Wave 3, and that is going to be Pointblank with Peacemaker. So, there he is, vehicle mode, open packaging, still pointing it out for some reason. Box art, too bad you can't build in his elbow that far. 17 steps, 2 steps for Peacemaker, probably even less. QR code if you want to scan it, look at his bio. Right there. So yeah, let's get him open and check him out. Okay, here we have Pointblank out of his packaging. Now I had to re-record this because I kept misnaming Peacemaker. I kept calling him Pinpointer when in fact this is Pinpointer. But we'll get into that. So just kind of irritated overall about this figure. Now I'm not pulling a a certain reviewer here by saying I don't like this. Like, I personally just do not like this. I do blame Hasbro, but it's nothing to do with plastic quality or anything. It's just very poor design. So right off the bat, these stupid little sections sticking out from the elbow or from the top of the arm. I mean, it could have done the transformation differently to where works here, and then you still get a little over 90 degrees. Hell, you can get well over 90 degrees, especially if they added like a wrist swivel here, maybe some way to flip this over here. Just if they had done this differently, I think it would have been better. That and floppy leg might just be my copy. I don't know, I was just very irritated the first time I looked at this, but I still am not very happy with this figure at all. Now, I knew that this guy was going to be the weakest of the wave going into it when I purchased him, but I had no idea it was going to be this bad. Then these sections just hanging off here with nowhere to tab in. As you can see here, the front end of the windscreen just hanging off there, just no real place to go. I mean, it just sits there, like doesn't tab in, doesn't do anything, just sits there. All these waffles in the back right here. Giant gaping sections of the leg. They could have came up with a panel or something to cover this up. This huge gap here between the torso and the hips. And then not even an accurate head to either the toy or the Takara cartoon. Like, this is based off the Rebirth animation, which got it wrong. I believe they used Crosshair's head here. It just didn't look right. So yeah, there he is with Crosshairs. We're just down Sure Shot, so we still need Sure Shot and Spoil Sport. I believe that's who Sure Shot came with. But Pinpointer here came with Windblade. It is meant to go with him. There is another Pinpointer with the Megatron and Lionizer. I still need to get that Megatron Lionizer and the actual proper Battle Master, but I still like these Target Masters from Takara a lot more. Speaking of Target Masters, here is Peacemaker, and right off the bat, not too happy with him either. Just this tiny little budget on him. He's got waffles on the outside of his legs, all over his back. No articulation. I mean, he can bend in half. I wouldn't really call that articulation. He does surprisingly have a good amount of paint. So you get the silver face, blue visor, those little blue marks on the chest, and the black paint there. Like, I'm actually surprised they went that far with paint detail on this. Probably because there wasn't very much on him. All you really get is the blue for the rims, the blue here on the forearms, the pale blue here on the chest, silver, and then kind of a lightish, like really almost like gray shade of white, some silver in here, black there, red and silver on the waist, then on the kneecaps, silver and blue. That it doesn't even go to the other side. So yeah, not too thrilled about that. Transformation for him is overly simple, like it said on the box, 2 steps. So really tight joint there, kind of scary. And then that, and you get this little pathetic pea shooter. It is blast effect compatible, yet I don't think a weapon this small is going to do much of anything. Can't really do much because he can't even bend his elbow. He has to bring up his arm. You might as well just stiff arm that. I don't know. So let's get Crosshairs, the better one. That is a repaint and it's still better than this, out of the way. So articulation, his head is on a ball joint that keeps wanting to come untabbed from the back. Very tight ball joint. Him and his stupid little fin. Awkward angled shoulder joint that rotates 360. You get out to there with the shoulder or use the transformation joint to get to there. You get a swivel below the elbow, which only gets about 45 degrees, and then a little under 90 backwards. Get 360 at the waist, forward, back, all the way out and then some at the hip. Get a thigh swivel, well over 90 at the knee, almost 100, yeah, actually 180 degrees. There you go. Get ankle tilt, and then the toes move up and down. This one is, actually no, both feet have really loose toes. Give me just a second. But yeah, really loose on some of the joints. It might just be my copy, I don't know. It still doesn't thrill me, and the transformation is even worse. So let's go ahead and get on to that before I go too crazy. So open up this panel here, fold the head down, bring the panel up, then bring down the toes, rotate the waist, and from here, bring the arms. Okay, so bend them backwards. Okay, do this correctly. So bend the arm like this, rotate it 40 or 90 degrees. Actually, 90 degrees, rotate up. Okay, right to there. See, sometimes I can't even remember how to do this. There we go. Up to there. Up and around like that. That will go there. And bring that up. And bend the arm, then up and around to there. And these will plug in together. These will rotate up. First, you got to bring these down, out, and around like this. That tabbing into there. This tabbing into here, and then comes the really aggravating part. You got to kind of, there's very little clearance, and I don't want to break anything. Like between that, these, risking popping those off, plugging that in, it's just very stressful. All right, come on. Yep, there it goes. Popping off. There we go. All right, there we have Pointblank in vehicle mode, and it actually does look pretty cool. Like a little futuristic car, rolls all right, but it's missing spoiler and extra engine section back here that's supposed to house Peacemaker. But you do have these two slots here, these two tabs. Those plug on like that. Only problem is now he can shoot into his cockpit. Yeah, Hasbro, you should have thought this one through a little bit better. I mean, it doesn't even look that great. Like, he needs that extra spoiler piece here. That's really what's missing. I mean, fairly clean vehicle mode. I mean, you can see the fist there and the waist there, but can't really tell too much. Then he's got this port here. I mean, I guess you could plug that, I don't know, into there for no reason. Would have been cool if he had like a feature to flip his hand in to where he could pop it into the front of the arm like the Headmaster series. But let me get Crosshairs and then we'll do one more comparison before we get him back to robot mode. So there's Pointblank and here's Crosshairs, which, yeah, I mean, it wasn't 100% right either. It was just a repaint and didn't have any really new tooling besides the head, but at least it captures the spirit of Crosshairs a little bit more, because he was kind of an off-road kind of truck van thing. Yeah, it would have been nice if they gave him like lifted off-road tires with a few new parts. I know there's some 3D printed ones out there. I still have yet to get those, but I mean, it's sad that a repaint actually turned out better quality-wise and QC-wise than this. I don't know what is going on with Hasbro and their QC as of late, but it's not good. Like, I don't know why it's just declining over Wave 2 and 3. Primarily Wave 3 with, who was it? Oh, Dead End, and now this guy, as well as some of the... There's a few others, and then of course Victory Saber, but we'll save that for later. I've got an actual review of that I'm working on. I've still got to record it and everything, but should be up by the end of the year. But yeah, let's go ahead and get Pointblank back into robot mode. Start by untabbing these sections here. Bring out the legs. I hate the lack of clearance here. Like between these panels and the windshield, which is very poorly designed. And then, wow. And these have nowhere really to go. They just float there. They don't tab into anything. They just sit there. It's kind of stupid, if you ask me. And it, quite frankly, again, pardon my French, pisses me off. That you design a figure, don't even consider articulation or clearances for transformation. But trying not to be an angry chef. Let's just say that. This back, and there we have Pointblank back in robot mode, and let's go ahead and give him Peacemaker, even though he can't really wield him that well. And yeah, so I don't know how I feel about this guy. I mean, he might be worst figure of the year. Like, he's definitely worse than Elita 1, definitely worse than Skids, and definitely worse than Skullgrin. I couldn't even think of his name. I don't know why. I'm just aggravated, I guess. But while, you know, Skullgrin had a neat transformation and cool robot mode, this really only has a cool vehicle mode. Robot mode just suffers from like poor design, poor articulation. Transformation is awful. I don't know. Hasbro can do better. I know they can. And it just irritates me that it's gotten this bad. So, that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm not even going to give him more than 15 minutes. So, be sure to check out all those links down in the description. And be sure to check out my other Legacy and Kingdom videos as well. They're all in playlists. So, see you guys in the next video.